Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless work, career, and vocation read. I am your reader, fellow Virgo, Mark Angelo. Lyons, they are my initials, Mal for short. You can call me Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. It's available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box, and you can preview it for free, and you get to read the dedication to my mom. It's pretty cool, some of the reviews. Oh yeah, and I'm also a creator on Patreon, patreon.com/Drawing the Circle, this Virgo's Field Day, patreon.com. Having so much fun, so much creativity over there. I love my subscribers, my humans, my heroes, my angels, my witches, my immortals, gods, goddesses at the time of this recording. Really letting my creativity find its voice there in brand new ways. So come check it out, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons. Mark Angelo Lyons, it's what my parents named me, but you can call me Mal. Hey, my Virgs. Virgo power. I love me some Virgo energy. If you are new to the channel, what we are about to do here is actually called a 3-level of power reading, right? 3 levels of power. There's a link in the description box to a video here on YouTube by Carolyn Myss, M-Y-S-S. She's a PhD. These are her archetype cards explaining the 3 levels of power as archetypal lenses through which you can look at many different areas of life and experience. In this case, we are going to be looking at your life purpose, your sacred contracts, which you came in to incarnate in this life, at least in terms of work, career, and vocation, a spectrum of energy that puts together our life purpose. There are chakras involved. There's such good stuff. Carolyn Myss, I love her. She tends to pop into my readings a lot. She's still alive, you know, and it's like, but I love her. She's one of my favorite teachers on planet Earth. Never met her. Don't need to. Blessed be. Yeah, I would shake her hand and thank her. I'd do that. Until then, I'll just buy her stuff. So it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because your sun sign might be more into work, like I'm a Virgo, so it does tend to lean more towards the first level of power, work, survival, intuition, that kind of stuff. My moon sign does tend to lead sometimes more towards my career, which is the internal hunger and thirst, your creative intuition, right? And sometimes my Venus in Libra really goes for the vocation, my spiritual calling, the thing that calls me forward, right? My mystical spiritual power, my visionary creativity, my visionary intuition. So you just check them out, check your other signs if you know them. And other than that, both feet on the floor if you can, focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can. First, something silly and then something serious. The theme for this series of Work, Career, Vocations is Dress for the Job You Want, and I want to be absolutely fabulous, darling. Sweetie, darling. I need some stolly bolly stat, darling. A little bit of a Patsy Adina hybrid savant, kind of, sort of. It's in the muscle memory. It's in the brain tissue. It's in the little gray cells. Hercule Poirot meets Patsy and Adina. That would be absolutely fabulous. So it's a 12-card spread. On a more serious note, I'm well aware of what's going on planet Earth. My head is not in the sand, though sand is the element of Virgo, mutable Earth. No. I do watch the news. I get really upset by it, and I pray, and I heal, and I work on myself, and I send it out, because I don't have the political or financial power to do anything about the war in Ukraine, or Roe versus Wade, or, I want everybody to be happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Everybody. So I know that by me fulfilling my work, career, vocation, bringing the chakras into alignment and all of that, I'm changing the vibe on planet Earth, because as one of us heals, all of us heals, little by little by little. Boil it down, you do you, helps everybody else. I think that's about it. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point, sweetie. Still point, darling. Here we go. All right. As I call it, using the Caroline Myss archetype deck, I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, the angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of life purpose through work, career, vocation, and the higher selves of all involved, fifth dimension and above, eighth chakra and above. The three dominant eighth chakra archetypes at work in work, career, vocation for the Virgo collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading, keeping my eyes closed, leave the cards in my hand. What's the dominant archetype hovering over our work, right? The satellite that beams down the codes to the other chakras, shifting the program, changing what we attract and what we repel in the physical level of power, literal level of power. Survival, intuition, lower three chakra dominant. Pantheons, what about our career? What's the eighth chakra there? Our creative intuition, our personal level of power, our crown chakra, spiritual power, third eye, mental power, throat chakra, willpower, choices and decisions, and of course heart chakra, emotional power, what we yearn for, what we burn for, what we hunger and we thirst for in the career. That's the juice of it usually. And in our vocation, eighth chakra dominant, visionary intuition, our spiritual power, but really our mystical power, our divine power. The star that calls us forward, right? The satellite itself, our life's calling, or at least for a reason, a season, or a lifetime for the Virgo. Oh, there's two of them. That was a nice sound though. Please, just one. I'm sure we have more than one reason, season, or lifetime of calling. So please, for the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, watching this video, receiving this reading. That is our vocation. So let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm in this one. Oh, yeah, I'm in this one. Oh, yeah, I'm in this one. Wow, you got the royal family. This is a part of the royals here. You have got whew, what a powerhouse read. We lay them down this way when we're putting the cards, but we interpret them this way because you really want to bring the energy from the eighth chakra all the way down into physical form through manifestation. But of course, coming from the root and working up is healing. Alchemy led into gold, then inspiration into manifestation. So in work, we've got the Prince archetype. Well, my name is not Prince, but I still am funky. When it comes to funk, I'm near almost a junkie. He had a huge effect on my life. Masculine family archetype, but this is not about bodily gender. At all. At all. Nor is the lover. The lover is also a member of the masculine family of archetypes of the 9 families. And here we have a drawing of a woman, an illustration of a woman. So this is really not biological gender here. So you got 2 masculine archetypes. And the queen. Oh, girl. Queen. So, in your work, career, vocation, you're the queen, lover, prince. Are you queen, loving prince? Well, we are the champions, my friends. So, I'm going to read what's on here. Like I said, we're going to interpret them this way. In your vocation, right? The star that calls you forward, your higher self, the home of the archetypes, that 8th chakra dynamic, right? Every archetype is neutral, shadow to light, pain to peace, toxic to healthy. What you're healing here in your vocation is becoming arrogant when authority is challenged. I have a nice touch of that. Off with their heads, controlling and demanding, and when I'm in a bad mood, yeah, I can queen out. So, you know, there's this thing about Drag Race. I love Drag Race. I watch it, you know. I don't have Paramount Plus. I don't think I'm going to. I have enough streaming services. Thank you very much. I can watch the recaps on YouTube. I'll be fine. But there is this thing about, oh, queens have to be nice, and they're role models, and it's like drag queens are usually better bitches, and they're fun because of that. I'm from New York. You know, we don't have a lot of la-di-da drag queens, at least none that I've run across, right? Hedda Lettuce is from New York, just among one of many, but she's a piece of work. I love her. I saw her do private dancer in a pencil skirt, and you won't believe how she collected her tips. So, you know, it is that thing of queen, right? When its authority is challenged, watch out, or if, you know, mess with their wigs. The light attribute radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. They just shot into my third eye, Audrey Hepburn. Right? Princess Di, even though she was a princess. She was out poking landmines, right? You know, so you really look at that. Obviously a feminine family archetype. Now, again, not about bodily gender at all. This is more of a yin experience. These two look like they're more yang experience. Feminine energy coming in, masculine energy going out. Let's look at the lover archetype. I have all three of these. One a reason, one a season, and one a lifetime. The lover archetype sounds lovely, right? Any archetype that sounds lovely, beware. The shadow is just as toxic. The shadow attribute of the lover. Let's see if this crosses any T's and dots any I's, shall we? Obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. Now, in terms of your career, I know you put that in terms of a lover, you know, a romantic sexual, it's keying cars, and you know, all of that cuckoo bananas that we go through. But the light, when you catch this, great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. That's love of the gods, love of your career, love for, you know, the art of it all, whatever, to really alchemize that. That's powerful. I mean, because it's heart chakra dominant, the middle lane here, the second level of power. But how you express it in the world perhaps is with the prince archetype. Now here we go. This is how you know I have this lifelong. I'm a prince in my family. I was not born a king, I was born a prince. The shadow attribute, using power for self-aggrandizement. Now you might want to do a Google search on aggrandizement to then get self-aggrandizement, but it's essentially faking it. It's puffing off up your chest to make yourself grandiose, right? To make yourself bigger than you actually are. It's fronting, essentially. It's posing to an extent. But the light attribute, romantic charm and potential for power. So rather than grandiosity in the shadow, you have the natural grandeur of the soul in potential here, a potential for power. And by the way, a prince wasn't always necessarily a son of a king and queen. A ruler of a principality, and they're principalities still in the United States. I don't know why we call them that, but you know, it's a real throwback to the old world. So you know, romantic charm. Now, romantic charm in the workspace is but yet, someone who's having a romance with their work, or they just have that natural romantic charm as long as they're clean about it, you know what I mean? So people just are. Like, I don't know, I think certain actors working on set, right? It's not, they're just warm. And also that word romantic can be about a certain style and period of art, right? The romantics, what I like about you, you know, if you want to go there. The 80s, oh yeah, that's real long ago. Well, I'm 53, Thorpe, I know I don't look at things. So romantic charm and potential for power in your work. This could be somebody making their way up in a corporation, in a corporate structure, but you have the queen and the prince with the lover in between. This is an interesting read. All right, that's as much as we're going to talk about any one card here. Everything else is tarot and a Matt Kahn healing mantra deck. So let's get these on the table. 8th chakra, we know what that's about to an extent. Now we're going to look how that manifests in the next 4 chakras down. Crown, third eye, throat, and heart. Keep in mind, these archetype cards we have on the table are all about the 8th chakra, hovering over each of those levels of power, those worlds, work, career, vocation. But this one, vocation, is dominant. This one we're about to look at is lower 3 chakra dominant, the second level of power, heart, third eye, crown. So at the end of this, you'll have all of the chakras filled out, in case you're new. Breathe. I just do what they tell me to say, that's all. Still point. Oh. And here we go. As I call upon my goddesses of earth, the sign of Virgo, powers of the north. Please, 3 cards in clarity. For the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in our work, career, vocation. Because what do we like to focus on more? Something we might have a little leverage over, like our work, our career, and our vocation. Please, we've got the Prince archetype in our work. In the 8th, what's going on under that? World behind our eyes, the feminine energy. We've got a very interesting card with many different meanings. The 8 of Flames in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot is called burnout. Now, that can certainly be classic burnout, which just means you've been putting out more than you're taking in. You've run out of gas. Could be that you're going through massive change on the inside. But this is, if it's the 8 of Flames, it's the 8 of Wands. So this could be passion, like a wildfire, which is actually what we're looking at here in this picture. Now I hate the idea. I hate the idea of, I'm a past life dryad. I say it every time this card comes up. I have such a strong relationship with trees. You have no idea, earth sign, that I am. Dionysus Dendrites. So this can be very much that roaring passion inside of us, very throat chakra, willpower, element of fire going on there. My goddesses, we've got the Lover in our career, which is sort of the best place if this is really about loving what we do and doing what we love in terms of fulfilling our creative intuition. What's going on, heart, third eye, crown there, please? For the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. 5 of Cups, storm. Heart chakra dominant, one would think, element of water. And there is perhaps a little bit of obsessive passion that harms others or self-destructive devotion or somewhere in that, right? Now remember, all storms pass. That's why I love this card, right? And it brings you to what? The 6 of Cups, the balance. There might very well be a lot of emotions going on. A lot of emotions in change. 5s are numbers of change. That's why the magical pentacle is 5, 5 points of a star in a circle. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit. So though this may not be full-on transformation, there is definitely a sea change, a storm change going on here. And just like every other 5 of Cups we see, some are bobbing along doing fine, and some are like tipped over and sinking. So, but I don't know about you, but it rains here on Long Island, up here in the mountainous region of Holbrook. There are no mountains on Long Island. It's just the highest point is like 2 miles away. We get it, right? So I don't have to water every day, which is lovely outside. But what's the sky like afterwards? What's the earth like afterwards, right? It's refreshed, it's clean, and that certainly balances things out, right? You can see clearly now, Lorraine is gone. Who's Lorraine? Quiche? I don't know. Quiche Lorraine. Let's, speaking of the B-52s, let's take a look at the Queen, shall we? Oh my goddesses, please, the Queen archetype. In our vocation, this is about, leadership. The Queen is the keeper of the keep and the law. The keep is where all the good stuff is. It ain't the armory. It's the keep. It's where all the jewels and the treasure and the food and all the valuables are. Of course, that would be feminine dynamic, right? Hidden in the belly of the castle, so to speak. But also that shadow, like no Disney queen is fun to hang with. Right? They're all off with their heads, or, plots, plans, and schemes. So please, one card in clarity for the Virgo collective in our vocation of all things. Definitely a leadership, benefiting people in our charge can be a very Virgo thing. But what do we need to be aware of on the inside? The High Priestess, it's the Maiden card, the Virgin card in Daughters of the Moon Tarot. And so far, our first major arcana. Look, there's so much that can be said about that mystically. I'm going to say in terms of basic tarot, though, when it is a major arcana, heart, throat, third eye, crown, it's all 4 chakras at once. This is about intuitive alignment, keeping your mouth shut but watching. Okay, I am not Wiccan. I used to be. Nothing wrong with Wicca. Everybody's got to find their thing. But, traditions and all that, and having your fingerprint pricked. I went through it all. Not my gig. I'm not really tribal. Traditions are lovely. As long as I'm allowed to beg, borrow, and steal what I need to make it work, because my gods bring me stuffs all the time, except good pronunciation, I guess. So this is about soft of eye and light of touch. Speak ye little, listen much. That's a line from the Wiccan Read Poetic Version by Doreen Valiente. I memorized the whole thing because I went through a clergy training program, a rather popular one at the time. Soft of eye and light of touch, speak ye little, listen much. Just'll go by the waxing moon, sing and dance the witches' rune, and on and on and on. 8 words the Wiccan Read fulfill, and ye harm none, do what ye will. It's a lovely little ditty to remember, and blessed be Doreen Valiente. So the High Priestess on the inner with the Queen hovering over that, this is like being a channel of the Divine Feminine Queen, because to me, sure, there's the Maid and the Mother and the Crone, but what about the Queen? I know Mists of Avalon is a very problematic text now, by the way. If you're unfamiliar with Marion Zimmer Bradley, it's like I read it back in the 80s before allegations were revealed, but certainly there were all 4 of those in that, and because that is so there aren't just 3 archetypes of woman there is 4, but Queen is tricky because it could be wicked dark. Any of them could be wicked dark. All right, what does this look like on the outside, you might be wondering, which is what everybody wants to know in their Work-Career-Vocation. Show me the money, where's the beef? Remember, lower 3 chakras will give us some indications there, but this is why we have to have the energetic structure in place, otherwise you don't know what's above and behind it. Please take a nice deep breath. Halfway through with the cards. Still point. As I call upon my gods of earth, the sign of Virgo, powers of the north, please, my beloveds, 3 cards, lower 3 chakra dynamic, inside looking out at the Virgo on the inside looking at it, out at a person, place, or thing, the masculine energy, the yang, how it leaves their body and goes out into the world, as well as lower 3 chakra dynamics, root chakra, groups, tribes, circles of friends, families, racial, ancestral, anything 3 people or more. Second chakra, one-on-one relationship to another person or thing, money, sex, power, creativity. Solar plexus, relationship to the self in the world, self-esteem, boundaries, survival, intuition, dominant here. This is the lower 3 chakra 1, level of power. So what do you got for the Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in their work? Prince in the 8th. Burnout, 8 of flames on the inner, on the outer. See, 2 cards. Not that humid. There can be a lot of this going on. A lot of, please clarify. What's this look like? Lower 3 chakra dynamic. The world. Something's complete. Something's graduated. It might be fulfilling, actually. This could be the prince really taking that 8 of flames, willpower, and really charging through towards the end of a cycle, right? It's the last major arcana card, but it's a circle. It reboots at the Fool, and then the first card is the Magician. The Fool actually has no number. It's the 0, right? So it's between the worlds. So in terms of work, you may be wrapping something up with great passion, but you need to be charming AF, perhaps to get away with it if you're working for others rather than with others. I gave up working for people in 1998. Now I only work with. Yeah. Why? Because I got the Queen archetype in. Big time off. You met my mom, and she's lovely. She really, really is. But, you know, we crossed a lot of swords. Growing up, we didn't have cruel swords, we had cruel shields. Joanna Lumley, ladies and gentlemen. Ready? So I love that. The prince, burnout on the inner, that passion driving forward at the end of a cycle. So what's going on in our career? The lover in the 8th, the storm on the inner. I'm wondering if this one's the leverage. Usually the tricky one is the one with the leverage, but let's see. What is it we need to be aware of? Lower 3 chakras. For the Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, our career, lover in the 8th, 5 of Cups, storms on the inner, and, ooh, Sagittarius, the Knight of Wands, mutable fire. This need not be you. This could be somebody else. I mean, if you've got like major Sagittarian placement, great. But the thing about Sagittarius is, of the four, there's lots of stuff, it's ruled by Jupiter. Ninth house dynamic can be very much about spirituality, expanding territory. But I can't, when it's a court card, it could certainly be somebody else. I'm not going to just say this is romantic instantly just because it's the lover archetype, right? It's like, I'm a lover of the beach, right? You got to take it out of that straight on literal, right? To get the deeper richness of the interpretation. And Carolyn May said the word archetype should have no period after it because interpretation never ends. Yeah, she's right. And that's why we bring other cards into it to get some puzzle pieces to bring clarity. But this is Bellerophon killing the Chimera from the back of Pegasus. All right, see, somebody wrote him. It happened. This is definitely an expansion. This feels like somebody in your energy field, if it's not you from the outside looking in, charging ahead. The knights are on horses and they all move at different speeds. They're the four mutable signs. Virgo is trot. If you've ever written walk, right? You walk first, then you trot. That's mutable water Pisces. Canter, which is a little bit slower than Gallop, is Sagittarius, mutable fire, and Gallop, of course, is Gemini. Why wouldn't it be? So it feels like there might very well be some very fast expansion here, or at least it can be that this is going on behind your eyes. You're chomping at the bit. You want to gallop, you want to canter forth with your will and your desire, or somebody is here. You may be working with somebody, which is the externalization of this, right? That Eight of Wands, that Eight of Flames on the inside here, looks like it's beginning to move on the outer, right? But with this Five of Cups on the inside, there can be a lot of feelings. And if there is something romantic going on in your career, I would say then this is going to have to be a really, really tricky balance. I have certain rules as a Virgo. I will not get romantically, sexually involved with my students or my clients. After some time goes by, the gods will have what they will. Plenty of people have met in my classes, but I haven't really. It's a power dynamic that doesn't work for me. Never goes right. It just never goes right. But then again, if that's the only way that they could have got the two of you together, you know, to bring the two of you together, to do whatever contract you had to do there, then that's a possibility. I would just say with the Storm, that's such a heart chakra card. As the lover here, slow it down a little bit. Keep moving through the storm. This will pass. All emotions pass. That's why they're like emotions of water, like you pass water. Let's look. Last of these, my gods. Okay, my gods of Earth, sign of Virgo, powers of the North, Queen in the 8th chakra, and the 8th chakra dynamic, visionary intuition calling, our life purpose, right, in that sense, our calling, our vocation. Queen in the 8th, High Priestess Isis on the inner, the Virgin, the Maiden of the Maiden, Mother Crone, and the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. So this could be very pure, very still, very silent. And very untouched, virgin in the original meaning unmarried or unowned. So what's going on lower 3 chakras here? Because we got the Virgin card in a Virgo reading. This might be very much be who we truly are. What's going on lower 3 chakras? The Virgin Goddess Athena, Ace of Swords in the Mythic Tarot, holding a truth. I think you're going to bring through something. Look, if you're not into the whole channeling thing, you don't got to call it that. You can just call it inspiration, creativity, and manifestation. Something big is about to happen. This is your... Well, no, you got 2 major arcana cards. Oh, but if you look at this is in the 8th chakra. And it ends in the root chakra with a completion of some kind. You going from a queen archetype, it's all continual. It's not like you stop being one. It's all flow. It's all a spectrum of energy. Soul powers being learned. The more you are the queen, right? Benefiting those in your charge, right? The divine feminine in terms of the elegance, benevolence, right? The happy queen. You happy queen. Then there is this new truth, this ace of swords, this ace of thought, either coming at you or coming through you and from you. As a result of stillness and silence. Now I'm going to give you a book recommendation. Matt Kahn, his Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck is the next 3 cards and the last 3 cards down for this read. But his third book, The Universe Always Has a Plan, The 10 Golden Rules to Letting Go, there's a good thing in there about stillness. And that everything changes us for the better, but we can see it more. We can see how everything changes, and everything changes us for the better whenever we are still. But how easy is still for mutable signs? Just saying. Very cool. I like this. This feels very much like a channel that's going to move through your heart, throat, third eye, crown and finish something up here in the physical. But remember, it's a graduation. Yeah, it's an ending of a cycle. But then there's something new. Need not be a change of career. But with this Eight of Flames is feeling much better now. This feels like passion and drive and ambition, and go for it. Shall we? Last 3 cards down, the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. A healing mantra for each of them. Not doing the bookie book reads, I know. I do them in all the other ones because it's only 1 per reading. This is 3. And these readings are long enough. So, again, we're going to lay them down this way. I'll read the vibe on them, and then we'll chat a little bit before I do the summation. Please take a nice deep breath. Sweetie darling, sweetie darling, sweetie darling, still point. If I can make them laugh, I'm good. As I call upon the ascended masters of work, career, vocation, life purpose through the 3 levels of power, please, I need the perfect healing mantras. Make it clear and specific for the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. So the words just click into place and they go, oh my God, that's mine. That one's for me. In the gut, so that we know it hit us right in the 2nd chakra. We're like, got the prince in our work. With that, if it's literal burnout, that could make sense for the world on the inner, on the outer as well. But it more feels like they're charging towards, they're really flying with those 8 of Wands towards that completion, celebration, graduation, closing the circle. What's their perfect healing mantra? Sharing shame. This one keeps coming up because I think it's incredibly powerful. Sharing shame. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. I've gotten this so many times, I'm like, what? And then, because we think like macro shame, but it's like micro shame. As Virgos, we can be very rough on ourselves about the physical world, right? Oh, like overdraft fees. It's like I can be brutal on myself. It's like I thought I had that. Oh, it was an automatic fund withdrawal. Right? We can be a little brutal on that. And underneath that brutality, that anger, that frustration we have with ourselves there is shame. Now there's a difference. Guilt is I've done wrong. Shame is I am wrong. That's I'm not good enough. Right? So when you do this, when you share your shame with somebody else, and again, it can be silently with the divine, could totally be that. That's not what I'm getting here. But you can play this in a prince where you could say, you know what? I am so sorry that I put up with what I put up for so long because I didn't realize I was worth more. Like that's one example. And it gives people the space. When you share your shame with another human being or a group or whatever, I was just talking to Nancy Antonucci, author of Tarot Rituals, her new book out. We're just talking about workaholism, right? And how it's so cheered, but it's still an addiction and really toxic. Well, what drives that? Racing against time, have to keep working, or what? Yeah, bills won't get paid. I understand that part, but there's more to it than that. So sharing shame. With romantic charm and potential for power, that could be the very alchemy that helps you cross the finish line there with that world card. And masters, we're kind of batting 1,000 here. Please, lovers in the 8th in the career. 5 of Cups on the inner. That could have something connected to that as well with the Sagittarius, which can be a very expressive sign there. In fact, they sort of speak truth and Sagittarius asses. So please, what's their perfect healing mantra for their career to bring that into alignment? Healing heartbreak. My heart will love again. Now look, this could very much be, and again, this is a whole other scenario that we haven't even touched into. This could be somebody who lost their job, right? And they're feeling bad about it. They're feeling shame about it. Maybe they're burned out. And hence that world is the completion of it. But behind it, there is heartbreak. There was love here, but your heart will love again. You will love what you do again. With that lover and healing heartbreak, obviously. It's a little on the nose there, but I mean, unless this is really about a romantic thing, then there has been a disappointment. Heartbreak and disappointment are very similar. Granted, heartbreak is a bit more intense. It's more perfume than the disappointment. That could be Cologne or Eau de Toilette, 3 levels of power language again. But my heart will love again. Maybe this is about Sagittarius saddling up and cantering out into town and seeing what else is out there. But I would certainly not ignore the change of emotion going through you. If you are at storm, I wouldn't head out until the storm has cleared. Don't burn down the village or flood it in this case, because your heart will love again. And honestly, with that lover's archetype, this is really batting 1,000 so far. I think we're crossing every T and dotting every I as much as we can, me and them, to you for a general read. All right. Last card down, Ascended Masters of Life Purpose through Work, Career, Vocation. I'm not even sure where the leverage is here on this. I mean, sharing shame gives them something very direct that they can do in the physical world here. But the Queen with the High Priestess on the inner and the Ace of Swords in of all, and you've got a virgin goddess, meaning unowned, unmarried, Athena with the Ace of Swords with the High Priestess Isis at this point prior to her and Osiris creating Horus, the maiden, the virgin aspect, and the Queen. It's like, please, what is the perfect healing mantra? Make this crystal clear as much as we can for the 8th chakra dynamic of vocation with the Queen there. High Priestess on the inner. Athena, Ace of Blades on the outer. What's the mantra? Grounding my energy. Oh, I get it. Simple. Not easy, but simple. Grounding my energy. It is safe to be in my body. This is really going to be ultimately about you working with your calling, your vocation. I think you're getting an upgrade in the 8th chakra. When the 8th chakra shifts, everything shifts. And that's because you did the alchemy. You learned something. And if you don't learn it, that's okay. The program repeats till you get it right. That's not punishment. That's compassion. It's like, no, you really don't want to try a Mack truck until you've at least mastered, a Toyota, right? Let's start. You got to crawl before you can walk. You got to walk before you can run. You got to run before you can fly, as far as I understand aerodynamics, which really not at all. But grounding your energy, feeling that it's safe for you to what? Be this regal authority. Bring it down. We'll do this in the summation. But this feels like the leverage. And honestly, while healing your heart and sharing its shame, wouldn't it be good to start with the highest vibe, but feeling safe in your body? It is safe to be in my body. Because I got news for you. We're earth signs. You're not the body. We're not the body. We haven't had the same body in every lifetime. That would be a little icky. That would not be very sanitary. Brains. No. Meat suits, darling. Time, space suits, right? We come in immortals, divine beings manifesting immortal souls on heroes' journeys in human bodies, man, over and over and over again. It's all about the archetypes. This is just how it's playing out in the rest of the chakras here. So in your career, let's do it this way. In your work, you're healing. In your work, you're sharing shame. that can be incredibly empowering and a great service to people. Or maybe you're making safe space for someone to share their shame. There could be that too. Healing heartbreak in your career. I see it with the Five of Cups and the Lovers. That's Sagittarius. I wonder if there was a player. You know, I don't like going with YouTube buzzwords all the time. But the Sagittarius, the Knight of Wands, is kind of known for being a player. But that could be a player, maybe non-romantic. It could be you got a trickster in the office, in the career, somewhere in there. Get a pendulum. Check them all. Whack them in the head. Flonk. And in your vocation, you're grounding your energy. Reverse it. In your career, it is safe to... in your vocation, it is safe to be in my body. In your career, my heart will love again. And in your work, when I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. Like I said, I'm going to put this all together in a blessing summation, a blessation. I don't know. We'll blend it together later. And then we'll chat a little bit at the end. Because the best way for me to let go of these readings, I have found once they are done, is in the last 20 to 30 minutes. Let the goofy out the cage. Not that it's in a cage. Around here, I live alone. Well, with 3 black cats, and I work from home. So, you know, it's pretty much self-entertainment. Please take a nice deep breath. For realsies, still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, for the Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, may we be blessed with all that we need in our work, career, and vocation, so that in our vocation we radiate the regal feminine using our benevolent authority to protect others, being safe in the body maybe, and that on the inside maybe we find stillness, maybe we listen to a higher voice, maybe we keep what we hear a little secret, a little safe, until it's ready to let the Ace of Swords speak, or maybe the Ace of Swords comes in and through some new idea, some new seed thought, but usually a truth. Particularly 8th chakra dynamic with the priestess, I'm going to say. And that we are able to ground our energy, the earth signs that we are, take the inspiration and bring it into manifestation through, it is safe to be in my body, I'm not a body, I am free, I am still as the divine created me, which is a paraphrase from Course in Miracles. And so that also we then may be blessed in our career, that we have that great passion and devotion, which feels like it could be here as well, unbridled appreciation of someone or something, yet dealing with the emotional change and turmoil of that. There is a change. It is a state change. The seas will settle. The skies will clear. But if this is certainly involving Sagittarius, whether it's the Virgo from the outside looking in at themselves or them from the inside looking out at somebody with this vibe, then do understand that expansion, that it's not that it doesn't suck. Heartbreak usually sucks regardless of what that means to each individual watching this, but your heart will love again. You will heal this heartbreak because there's no need to fall apart. There's more room in a broken heart. I know nothing stays the same, but if you're willing to play the game, it'll be coming around again. A little older music there for you. Wow, her name just went out of my head. She was married to James Taylor. They just give me the songs sometimes. Come on, I dated a guy who was obsessed with Carly Simon. Thank you very much. Somebody said it. I heard you through time and space. Carly Simon. Oh, Jason the Ferret Man. He was a lot of fun. Scorpio. So healing heartbreak here in your career. May they be blessed with all that they need to do that, so that in their work they are able to radiate their romantic charm and potential for power with this great passion, this galloping, frolicking 7 of flames burning through things while they complete something out. And in that process, sharing shame, because when they share their deepest pain, we give ourselves permission to be. And may they be blessed with all of that. What seems like a very detailed and complex work, career, vocation read for the Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, but may they heal. May they grow. May they learn. May they love. May they expand. And may they fulfill their life purpose at the time of this reading moving forward, bringing their chakras into alignment, manifesting inspiration into physical form. And as they do, fulfilling their heart's desire, may we all be blessed so this world becomes a better, happier, healthier, wealthier, and wiser place to be for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So let it be. So it is. It was a complex read, a lot of dynamics, but royalty involved here too, so keep that in mind. Particularly when I ask you, did you like it? Then like it. I'm one of the princes in my family. I'm the youngest. Yeah. Ooh. And if you want more of me here on YouTube, consider subscribing. I mean, I have nice hair. I know what I'm talking about. I've been reading cards since I'm 12 years old. I am 53. I know I don't look at things. Rapid wrinkle repair and witchcraft. And certainly if you want to go deeper, if you want the deeper tea, if you want the more mystical experience every day, there is something I'm putting out on Patreon. Patreon.com/drawing the circle, humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses, and who knows what's coming next. I usually stream every morning with a cup of coffee in a bathrobe with my hair doing what it's gonna do. So if you want to check it out, click the link below. And as well, if you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link in the description box. Booking a reading with Mal, a YouTube video that you can watch explains it all for you. Only made it last year, and it does explain it all for you, just like Clarissa. So thank you so much. I love you, my Virgos. We are the sanest sign of the zodiac, but you see how our hearts can sometimes pull us out of the game for a little bit to heal. So hang in there and reach out. We are the servants, but that doesn't mean we can't ask for service. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed Virgo power. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.